Dylan, can I talk to you now? There's something I need to discuss with you.
Oh, hi, Elisa. What is it? You know you can always talk to me.
Well, it's about my son, Cole.
Oh, I see. You know, we shouldn't really be discussing school matters on our private cell phones. Even though you and I grew up together, if someone found out we were messaging each other about work… I mean, your son being in my class and everything. The other parents might think I was showing favoritism or something like that.
I'm sorry, but before I called the school about this, I thought it might be easier just to ask you. You're his teacher, after all. I know I'm not technically going through the right channels to do it, but…
Okay, fine. Just this one time. What's going on?
Cole's refusing to go back to school. He says he doesn't like it anymore. But when I ask him why, he won't give me a reason other than he doesn't like it.
Huh? Are you saying the past 2 days he's been absent is because of that? I had no idea. The office told me you had called in saying Cole was sick. I just assumed he had caught a cold.
Well, it's not uncommon for a kid not to want to go to school every now and then, right? So the first day he was begging me to let him stay home, I did. But then he did it again today, and now he's saying he's not going tomorrow either. I asked him if something happened at school to cause this, but he won't tell me.
If there was something going on with the other students in his class, you'd think I would have noticed. But there's nothing going on that I'm aware of.
So you don't know either, huh? Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on Cole and see if I can get him to talk to me about it. Sorry to bother you.
No problem. Hey, I'll talk to some of Cole's friends at school and see if they know anything either. If I find anything out, I'll message you. Don't worry too much about it, okay? For now, just try to give Cole some room and don't press the subject too much. If you keep bothering him about it, I think it might make things even worse.
You're probably right. Thanks. If he stays like this for a while, I'll contact the school and tell them what's going on. For now, I'll just tell them he's still got a cold. Thanks for your help.
Elisa, I haven't heard back from you. Is everything okay? I see that Cole still hasn't returned to school. Why haven't you messaged me? Is it because you're just trying to avoid contacting me directly? Don't worry about that. I want Cole to come back to school too. If you're having any trouble, I want you to know you can always talk to me. I want to help.
Oh, sorry. I've just been busy with a lot of things, so I forgot to message you. That's all.
What? You're kidding. Your son has been refusing to go to school for over a week and you've been busy with other things? I had no idea you were that kind of person.
I think I should be saying that to you. I had no idea you were the type of person to do a thing like this.
Wait. What's going on here? Why are you getting angry with me? What exactly did I do to deserve this?
Cole told me why he didn't want to go to school anymore. He said his friends have been fighting with him, and he's being alienated by his entire class.
Oh, I see. Well, it's not uncommon for children to fight. I'm sure you've heard the saying, kids can be cruel. But I'm sure those kids are sorry now, and they're waiting for Cole to come back to school so they can apologize to him. So, just tell him to come back and we can get this whole thing straightened out.
Yeah, that sounds good. Except that's not what's going to happen, is it? You're the one who turned everyone against Cole, aren't you?
What? You think I'd do something like that? I'm his teacher. Why would you say something like that? I'd never do something mean like that to one of my students.
You listen here. I'm only telling you what I know for a fact.
A fact? No teacher would turn a whole class against one student. In this day and age, even elementary school students have cell phones. These days, everything can easily be recorded, so no one would do that. You've got nothing to be worried about.
You're right. I can't believe that any teacher would be stupid enough to try something like that nowadays either. And believe me, I'm not worried about anything. Yet, here we are, discussing exactly that.
Come on, Elisa. This is me we're talking about. We've known each other since we were kids. Why would I try to turn anyone against your son?
Maybe because you're still bitter from what happened with us years ago? Like, for example, the time when you proposed to me and I turned you down. And then later when I married that guy that you hated.
That has nothing to do with anything. Come on now. That happened over 10 years ago. Do you think I even care about that anymore? After all this time, do you think I still have feelings for you or something?
I didn't think you did. That's why when I moved back to the area, I figured I'd give you my contact info again. But I guess I was wrong about that, huh?
Oh, God. Just think about what you're saying. You're a woman in your late 30s with a kid now. Stop thinking that you're irresistible. You're only fooling yourself. What's this really about? Is your husband not paying attention to you anymore or something? Are you so desperate for attention you've got to make up things about other people still having feelings for you? The way you're acting is disgusting.
Your dad's a high school dropout, so I don't expect much from you. You don't have a single good gene in you, and you're not good at anything. You're useless, and you'll never amount to anything. You're going to turn out just like your dad. If you even consider telling your mom about any of this, something's gonna happen to you or to her. Those are all things you said to my son, aren't they? You even forbid everyone in your class from speaking to him, didn't you? What's wrong with you? Are you trying to get revenge on me by taking it out on my boy? You're not even acting like a man.
Oh my God, this is all absurd. So, this is what Cole told you. Kids lie all the time. You're a mom, you should know that. Unless you've got proof, I suggest you stop trying to make me out to look like the bad guy here. I knew there was something wrong with you. You seemed to be a lot more level-headed years ago. Honestly, I feel a little disappointed in you right now.
I'm his mother. Of course I'm going to believe my son. What I can't believe is that his teacher would say things like that to him. Do you have any idea what something like this could do to a child? You're supposed to be his teacher.
God, I hate when parents use that line on me. You're supposed to be a teacher. I hate that. Yeah, I'm a teacher. So what? I think I see the kids more often in a year than their own parents do. That's why I think you should believe me a little more than you believe them. Tell me, who does it make sense to believe? A lying kid or a grown adult? Are you gonna take his word over mine?
I'm gonna believe my son.
Oh, is that so? Well then, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you have proof? Do you have proof that I said all these things to Cole? If so, where is it?
I don't have any proof of what you said to Cole.
Just like I thought. And that means this conversation is over. If you've got anything else to say to me, I suggest you call the school and have them relay it to me.
Oh, we're not finished yet. I said I don't have any proof of what you said to Cole. But I have proof you turned the whole class against him.
Look, to tell you the truth, I'm tired of talking to you about this. I have no idea what kind of proof you think you have, but if you want to report me to the school, go ahead.
Is that so? Okay then, I will.
But I think you should know this first. Just in case you want to try starting something and saying I did something. Just know that I have people who will vouch for me.
You know someone who will vouch for a lying teacher?
My uncle. He works for the Board of Education. He's always got my back. Even if you try to get me in trouble, he'll help me out. He'll, how do I put this? He'll stamp out any fires before they get out of control.
Oh, so that's why you think you can act like an idiot and get away with it, huh? I see. Well then, how about I tell you something that you don't know?
Like what?
It's quite a coincidence, but my father-in-law is also there.
Your father-in-law?
Yeah, my husband's dad is the head of the Board of Education of this city. That means no matter where your uncle is in the BOE, he's lower than my father-in-law.
What? You're kidding. Then, hey, what is this proof of yours?
Huh?
You said you had proof that I turned the class against Cole.
Oh, why do you suddenly care? Didn't you just tell me that if I wanted to report you, to just go right ahead?
Just tell me what proof you have. And just so you know, a kid saying something happened isn't proof that it happened. You don't have any proof. You're just trying to trick me into saying I did something, aren't you?
My proof is a recording of you threatening your students about this. You said it yourself not too long ago, didn't you? In this day and age, even elementary school students have smartphones.
A recording? Students aren't allowed to bring their cell phones to school. If they get caught doing it, they're in big trouble. No student at our school would be stupid enough to do that.
I'm aware they aren't supposed to, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. A student took a chance and snuck their smartphone in. They knew they could get in serious trouble for it, but they decided it was worth the risk to help out a friend.
Who did it? Which one of those snotty little brats recorded me? Tell me.
I'm not telling you.
Just tell me.
Even if I told you, it wouldn't change what's going to happen to you. They may have broken a school rule by bringing their phone to class, but they did it to save a friend from a tyrant of a teacher. They're not going to get in trouble for this. Even if you don't understand that now, you will soon. Talk to you later.
Hey, wait. Don't try to run from me. I asked you who recorded me. Hey! Elisa, I feel bad about how I treated Cole. I'm sorry. It looks like I might be losing my job. I should never have tried to use my students to get back at you. Is there any way I can apologize to Cole for what I did? I was told that if you and Cole were willing to forgive me, they might let me keep my job. I'm begging you. Please give me a chance to apologize to both of you.
I thought I told you never to contact me again. If you want to contact me, you have to do it through your lawyer. Otherwise, I'm going to inform the school. I'll never forgive you for turning your whole class on my son, and scaring and threatening all those kids to keep their mouths shut about it. I think it's terrible that people like you can even get those kinds of jobs. I'm never letting you speak to my son again.
But I had a good reason for all this. It's because I love you, Elisa. You broke my heart when you married that loser of a man. He's a high school dropout. I was planning on marrying you. I knew I could make you happy. But you turned me down when I proposed to you. My life has been hell ever since.
Is that so? I understand.
You understand? I knew you would. So this means you're going to give me another chance?
I mean, I understand now that you're a worthless human being and that you'll never change. We never even dated. Why did you think you could propose to someone who you never even dated? Don't ever contact me again. You make me sick.
Huh? This whole incident was your fault.
Excuse me?
If you hadn't shown up in my life again, none of this ever would have happened. But you had to move back to this town and enroll your kid in the school I worked at. And worse yet, you had him put in my class. You brought all this on yourself. Why can't you see that it's your own fault?
You're gonna try to blame all this on me? I grew up in this town too. My family is here. I have every right to live here. And I never had my son put in your class. You just happened to teach his grade, and the school placed him in there. It wasn't my decision. And if you've got a problem with how the school or the board makes decisions, why don't you take that up with them? If you didn't want my son in your class, you could have pulled some strings. I thought you said you had someone who's always got your back. Did you forget something? Your uncle works for the Board of Education. During the time Cole was refusing to go to school, I got a call from the mom of one of Cole's classmates. She told me that she heard that Cole's teacher, Mr. Reyes, really hated Cole and was picking on him. She said her child even told her that their teacher was getting angry at them if they even spoke to Cole, and that he was threatening them, telling them not to tell anyone about it. After calling a few other mothers and having them talk to their kids about this, I found out very quickly that it was more serious than I had first thought. Even still, there wasn't much I could do about it at that time. We had a lot of students willing to speak up about it, but we didn't have any hard evidence to bring to the school board. That's when one of Cole's friends offered to try sneaking their smartphone into class and record Mr. Reyes threatening them and telling them not to speak to my son. Everyone was really scared about what Mr. Reyes might do if he caught the student recording them. But Cole's friends were really brave and worked together to keep it a secret. They brought up the topic of Cole, and as soon as they did, Mr. Reyes snapped. They were able to get everything he said recorded without him noticing they were doing it. I was so moved that so many people were willing to help out my son. When I found out we had gotten the evidence we needed, I immediately told my son. He was so relieved, and he told me all the mean things his teacher had been saying to him this whole time. After I took the evidence to the school and to the Board of Education, Mr. Reyes was fired from his position and won't be allowed to work as a teacher ever again. By the way, Mr. Reyes' uncle really did work for the Board of Education, but he was the person most outraged by what Mr. Reyes had done. In fact, it was Mr. Reyes' uncle who lobbied the hardest to have Mr. Reyes fired. I've got to say, that man really does have a good head on his shoulders. I'm surprised he's even related to Mr. Reyes. Now that Mr. Reyes isn't teaching anymore, my son is back in school. I was a little nervous that Mr. Reyes, Dylan, might come back and try getting even with me again. My husband and I were even considering moving or having my son change schools or something. But Cole said he's got lots of close friends at this school and he wants to stay here and graduate with them. After seeing firsthand just how great his friends really are and how they handled the situation for my son, I figured it would be best to stay here, surrounded by people who care. One other little thing about that. Not long after the whole incident got settled, my son came home with his first girlfriend. She was actually the student who had risked sneaking her smartphone into class to try to get the recording to help Cole. I wonder if maybe she was the real reason Cole told me he didn't want to change schools. Thanks for watching! If you like this video, please press the like button. See you next time!